I got one word. Arsenal. Wow. What a two-legged performance in the Champions League against the holders and the best team, so-called best team in Europe. Arsenal have schooled Real Madrid. Every single player in an Arsenal shirt, outstanding. I'm not even going to hide behind any agenda or any Manchester United view on this one. Sometimes you watch a football game, the first leg, we said, wow, what a second half performance. Didn't see it coming. Where did that come from? I could have gone any way the first leg at the Emirates. But tonight, from the get-go, Raya, I cannot remember him having to make a save. I just didn't see him doing anything. And that was complete control in the Bernabeu from Arsenal against Real Madrid. That team that just get the job done. The mentality monsters. They always come back. They always make it difficult. They always win, at least. And they didn't even manage that tonight. Arsenal have just two-legged Real Madrid and beat them twice. They didn't just sit back and hang on. They actually controlled the game without having possession of the ball. Real Madrid need to go back to the drawing board and reassess where their Galactico look is, because it just didn't work. And I'm sure even if they'd have beaten Arsenal somehow, they'd have come unstuck later on down the line. Their time has just run out and Ancelotti's era has ended on a whimper. Unfortunately for him, it really has. I think last season might have been the one to go, but Mbappe coming in, he's just non-existent. He's non-existent. When you've got a structured team in front of you, Mbappe played out the game. I thought Timber played Vinicius Jr. superbly, but for that little error from Saliba, what else but an absolute perfect performance from Arsenal. And I cannot believe I am saying that against what is known as the best team in the land in Real Madrid. Not anymore. Arsenal have ended that reign. And you know what? If you're looking at impressive teams throughout the competition and how they've dealt with these knockout phases and these stages, and you've got to look at Arsenal and go, you cannot ignore them right now. Who is the favourites in everybody's eyes? I mean, do comment below and tell me who are the favourites for this competition right now, because there are a few outstanding candidates. Obviously, we've seen the weaker side of PSG and how they can be got at by Aston Villa. We didn't see the weaker side of Arsenal at any stage throughout these knockouts. They smashed PSV to pieces. They've just destroyed Real Madrid 5-1. 5-1. And Real Madrid didn't lay a finger on them the whole two games. That is impressive, whichever way you look at it. What Arsenal are doing in the league, I do not know. Forget about that. Put it aside. Everything now has to be full steam ahead Champions League. That is their one shot and Arteta's one chance. He has to do it this season. You know what happens the season after. These big European clubs will come back and make it happen. And they always do it. They will return. But Arsenal right now, I think, are as good as anybody in this competition because they do not concede. They have an absolutely immense defence, which is their backbone and is their winning formula. It really is, because then you've got the pace, the power in midfield, and the skill and guile to dissect defences no matter who it is in front of them. And they do find a way. They do find a way. And the Champions League looks like it could be their thing. And it really does look like that is opening up for them right now. It really is. I mean, just to break down the game in different areas. How are Madrid going to come out? The best line I heard was that Madrid Bernabeu stadium roof was going to be on, and everyone was saying Rice cooks better with the lid on. Declan Rice, take a bow. Wow, what a performance again. He has just schooled. Forget Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham doesn't even come into it as England's best midfielder anymore. Declan Rice is the real deal. Declan Rice has just taken his career onto another level. I think it was Rio Ferdinand who said it. You are tested in these big games. You don't know if you are that good until you step onto this stage, in this arena, in the highest level of football, in a massive game, with the pressure of this atmosphere of 90 plus hostile fans, and you step up and you school one of the best midfielders on the planet in Jude Bellingham. He couldn't get anywhere near. I mean, that defence doesn't have to do much for Arsenal because it's got Declan Rice in front of it. He is outstanding. He is an absolute world-class operator, this man. I said it last week. Is he the best midfielder in the Premier League? Is he the best holding midfielder in the world right now, is the question that we should be asking. He is one of them rare players that you would spend £100 million on. And funnily enough, Arsenal did spend £100 million. It's very very rare that you get a player that is so valuable and has had so much spent on him that actually fulfills that value within his performances. But I don't think I've ever seen Declan Rice have a really bad game. It's either really good or outstanding. And that is a level of a world-class player. It is. There's nothing else you can say, and no one's going to convince me that anyone else in Europe right now is on Declan Rice's level for what he does and how he controls a football game. He really is that good. And you could say it's a little bit of a reach, but has he not been the most consistent player at Arsenal since he's arrived? Yes, he has. Has he carried them through certain games? Yes, he has. Has he been that absolute rock-solid spine that Arsenal have never had? Yes, he has. And how the rest of this team have not managed to mentally handle this Premier League race. And looking at what they are doing in the Champions League on the top level, it baffles me. It does. Look, PSG have got fast-flowing fullbacks that will cause Arsenal no end of problems. They have lethal finishers and an energetic midfield which will leave Real Madrid for dead. They would have battered Real Madrid PSG if they came up against them. They have a good defence as well and an outstanding goalkeeper also. I'm not saying Courtois is not good, but PSG come with a different bag of tricks and a different Arsenal, pardon the pun. And it is going to be a hell of a game. It really is, because you've got that energetic, strong, pacey Arsenal defence against a lively PSG forward line with pace in abundance. With them fullbacks this time that will bomb on. Real Madrid missing their big players at the back. I mean, Carvajal, different ball game again. If you had him playing, if you had Mendy playing, obviously you've got other players out there like Camavinga who would have made a difference as well. You're just missing just tiny little key players there that Real Madrid might have been able to adapt the game to, but still I think Arsenal beat them. I do. I think Arsenal beat them. Shout out to Louis Skelly at 18. Serious player right there. Serious player. And I think like England looking ahead, like Arsenal are literally they're placing every single position of this pitch with players right now. And then you're bringing on the likes of Ben White at the end as well. What can you do? That is actually like, how have Arsenal not won more? When you look at it like that, when they're performing like that, maybe it needed a Champions League game like this to bring it out of Arsenal, because I have not been convinced by Arsenal all season until Real Madrid stepped in front of them. And they have absolutely schooled Real Madrid. Declan Rice is the leader of leaders. Declan Rice is phenomenal. And that is the word I would use for him without even worrying about people bringing in an exaggeration on my part on that. He is absolutely brilliant. What a performance from him tonight. What a performance from Arsenal. And Arteta, take your flowers back to North London, my friend. You may have just booked yourself that trophy. No, I don't know yet. It's still hard to call because Barca look alright, Inter look that Interish type of will get the job done, dark horse mould. Like, don't count Inter Milan out of this competition. And you got PSG. What a setup in the semi-finals we've got, by the way. They are some serious games. Inter Milan are going to give Barcelona a run for the money. I wouldn't be surprised if Inter beat Barcelona. And of course, obviously, you've got the big one, PSG and Arsenal. Wow, what a setup. This is what the Champions League is all about. Arsenal today, oh my God, over 2 legs, I've got nothing. I've got nothing to bring up against them. And I have been their biggest critics. They have just absolutely pummeled Real Madrid to a pulp. And there's not even a counterpunch in them. Honestly, the towel would have been thrown in the first half. There was no way through for Real Madrid, and Arsenal absolutely mullered them. Brilliant performance from Arsenal, and they take their flowers back to North London. Like I said, credit to them. Give the video a like. Let me know what you think of the game. Comment below, everybody, as well. Hit that subscribe button up on your screen. I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Well done, Arsenal.